Hi YouTube. Okay, what I have here is a bowl of flour. Actually, this is, I buy King Arthur flour, just like Atticus 9799. I love King Arthur flour. Sometimes I buy in bulk at Costco also, but this happens to be their white wheat. It's an unbleached flour. And I also have about a cup of the masa flour in here also. I'm making homemade tortillas to go with my green chili verde. And I forgot to tell you that there are a pound of pre-soaked, I soaked them overnight, of northern white beans in there in that chili also. I didn't want to forget any ingredients. I'm going to add cumin to that and some other spices to really make it feel. I got a smoked cumin, which is fabulous. So anyway, what I do here for the tortillas is I get a fair amount of flour. I'm going to make quite a few because I have the potluck, as I said. I'm also using butter flavored Crisco. I'm not doing flavored tortillas necessarily today because the chili verde, I don't want to take away from that. And but I have been known to make chipotle pepper flour tortillas. I put the masa flour in there to really give it just an extra level of flavor. It doesn't overpower it, and it doesn't make the tortillas fall apart. So I'm down to the bottom of my Crisco here. I don't measure anything really. I go, oh, that looks good. Anyway, it's pretty much by feel. That's the same way I do bread for the most part. Now, if I'm following somebody's recipe for the first time, I will follow it exactly. So I'm going to add some olive oil to this. I like Crisco, but I also like olive oil. That's probably, 3 tablespoons. I'll do 4. 4 tablespoons of olive oil. Got my kosher salt. I put that in there. I like kosher salt and sea salt. And then I don't know if any of you have seen one of these, but it's a pretty nifty deal. These are pastry helpers, as I call them. My girlfriend years ago made me buy this at a garage sale. She goes, how do you think you're ever going to make a pie if you don't have one of those? So, and she's right. I can't make pie dough without it. And I really can't make tortillas or biscuits without it. I could, but I don't want to. So you just kind of work that Crisco into that flour until I've got little small pea-size pieces in here. And I don't generally do anything outside this bowl. I'll do all the kneading in here, and I'll let it rest in balls, as you'll see in a few minutes. I'm excited for this to get done. The 25 quart pot is about 75% full, so it's going to be a fair amount of chili. I think that we'll put away some for sure. I don't know if I'll get 7 quarts put away because the potluck, there's going to be 20 or so. So I'll save out what I think we need. And okay, so I don't know if you can see, it's broken up pretty fine. I mean, it's workable. They're not exact pea size, but I make sure that shortening gets broken up in there, just like you would if you were doing biscuits. I'm actively looking for another one of these pastry tools because this one's really old. I bought it at a garage sale. It's got an old wooden handle. It's been used a lot, and I would really be brokenhearted if I was without one. So, that being said, I'm going to go get the hot water. Now, unlike biscuits or puff pastry or any of those things, I want my water as hot as I can stand. So I'm actually going to put this in the microwave and let it heat up. What happens with tortillas is that, and I don't need any more Crisco, by the way. I probably put 3/4 of a cup of Crisco, and I'm guessing there's 4 to 5 cups of flour in this batch of tortillas. This is a large batch. Usually I'll run 2-3 cups of flour, you know, and a handful of shortening for a small batch. But I have learned from making these that they go fast and people come back for seconds. We had 2 of our friends over one Sunday for dinner, and I made the chili verde with the pork, and I made homemade tortillas. I made 22 homemade tortillas, and there were 3 left, and I had none. So my husband swears he didn't have them all, but I'm happy when people come back for seconds and thirds and you know, really enjoy the meal. So I'm going to add my water, and I'm probably gonna have to, I'm not sure, I think I only have like 10 minutes. That's what I'm guessing. So we'll work with it as long as we can. I don't see a timer on here. Oh yeah, I do. Okay, so we're gonna work with this. And it's not so hot that I can't keep my finger in there, but it's hot. I wouldn't put yeast in there. Okay, and I just add a little bit at a time. Now I'm gonna mix with a fork till I get it all mixed up. So you want that shortening to be spread out evenly, and the olive oil evenly throughout. If you were gonna add chipotle powder or cumin or pureed green chilies, it would be, you know, before you started adding the water. And you're really looking for a consistency of a soft, workable dough that's very soft and easy to work with. Almost like a biscuit dough, I would say. I just wait till everything starts coming away from the edges. Once it starts really pulling everything to itself, it's kind of like that, then I get my hands in there. And it's cooled off enough that I can work with it too. So I'll get my hands in here. If it looks like, oh, I got it too wet, I'll add some more flour. I mean, I've got the flour right here, so, oh yeah, it's great. This is a perfect consistency. So I end up going ahead and kneading this right in the bowl. I don't see a need to have it out on the board with flour and all that. You will end up pulling every bit of what you have away from the sides of the bowl. Now I have done this with the regular all-purpose flour, but I really like the idea that I'm getting whole grain into my diet whenever possible. I use this flour for our bread. When I do bread, I usually use a dough enhancer that I pick up from Emergency Essentials, and which I think it's on sale this month. I bought a bunch of it at the beginning of the month. So yeah, so the dough's coming together really nice. I just wait until I really have a workable soft dough, just that I can really mold and pull together. And then I'm going to show you what I do next. Okay, so for now, I'm going to let you go, and it'll be on the part, I don't know, part 3, 4?